Yo, what's up, my people? It's your boy, Big Chris, aka the Compton Animator, and I'm here to review the WWE pay-per-view. So tonight, reviewing WWE SummerSlam 2014. I got my cousin Teddy with me. You may have seen him in one of my very early reviews. So let's get into the show. So tonight we start off with your SummerSlam in LA. The last time it will be in LA, it'll be in New Jersey, New York next year, which is kind of fucked up because.
So we got WrestleMania. So
oh yeah, well we would have WrestleMania this year, so yeah. But you kick off everything. You kick off the first kickoff show with Cesaro versus Rob Van Dam, and you basically get Rob Van Dam who pick up a win in the match using the 5-star frog splash. I couldn't find any good pictures of it. They didn't really have anything, but tell you what you think of the match.
I liked it, man. It was great. I mean, it is weird to see RVD at this stage. I mean, by now I'm pretty sure he's been around for so long, but it's like watching him try to hit that 5-star.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird. It was like, and right after the pay-per-view, they showed a little clip of like his old stuff.
Yeah.
Because we were watching it on the what Hulk Hogan say, Hulk Hogan, the $9.99. So yeah, we were watching it on that, and they showed a video after of him like. When he first showed up to WWE,
yeah,
so much different, man. He was high flying. He jumped around. He did so much.
He's old
shit.
now, man, and that's been my main thing in the videos is that he is in his 40s. He just getting up there in age. He smokes a lot, so
It's not just that. It's just now I know I'm old. If he's old, I'm old. That's the problem.
I mean, he's had a good career. I was asking him when we was talking earlier. Van Dam has had a very good career.
Yes.
Only person to win the WCW, ECW, and WWE championships, and I think all three of them in the WWE, right?
Yeah.
All three of them.
Well, I think
he was undisputed champion. So
Big Show had won all of them too.
Okay.
Because I think Big Show was the first to do that.
Okay.
Because Rob Van Dam, technically, I don't know if he won the ECW belt.
At ECW?
Because remember, he asked for one night stand.
Yeah.
Before it was he brought.
I think he won it when they.
No. See, what happened is they hadn't made the show yet.
Oh, okay.
He asked John Cena to come to one night stand.
Yeah.
And he won the WWE and WCW. He was the first to bring them both together.
I remember.
Before they ever tried to bring them back together, but So yeah, he's not really the first, but he was the guy who united and was able to hold belts for both shows when they were split. And that, because I forgot Big Show had done it.
Yeah. And
they hadn't brought the show back. He basically kicked it off, but yes, he did do a lot of good stuff back then.
So good match between Cesaro and him. A lot of fucking uppercuts. Them damn uppercuts, Europeans and shit like that.
But hey, that's how he got started. When I noticed him, it was from Botchamania, where he did like probably 20 of those to the steps he slipped off of. So it all worked out. And again, even if RVD is old, he still can hang with the dude, and they still had a good match. It wasn't that it was a bad match. It was just
it was a very fun match, especially if you're going to put something on the kickoff show.
Yeah.
It's just surprising to see Cesaro on the kickoff show, but you can tell that they still care about him, and that they still want him around, and that they just don't have a place for him yet.
Yeah, and he got off good spots.
Yeah, so he got some really good spots, and he looked very strong in the match. It wasn't like he was buried behind RVD.
I think he reversed like 3 of the frog splash. I mean,
he most definitely
2 and then got hit by the last one.
Yeah, so they made him look good, and RVD got it off, just a way to get the crowd hyped. So you kick off the full show, with Hulk Hogan coming out.
$9.99, brother.
Basically, he's doing the whole thing that they've been doing recently with the whole $9.99 shit,
brother,
and stuff, and just kept going with that.
What you gonna do? $9.99.
So yeah, you had Hulk Hogan do that, and then you get your first match, The Miz, your IC title holder, versus Dolph Ziggler, and
AKA Shawn
Michaels, and Miz, AKA Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
So you get the Miz who comes out with this little white robe trench coat thing.
I didn't know what was going on. At first, I thought he was doing like some kind of what was it? Like Arabic thing, and I was like, wait a second, he has nothing to do with that.
Right now he's playing a big Hollywood character, so his whole thing is like, oh, I'm pretty, don't touch my face, and I'm Mr. Hollywood, so the whole Johnny Cage type thing. But he comes out, he starts talking about how he's in his hometown and parties and stuff like that. Then you get Dolph Ziggler who comes out, they get into a match, pretty fun start. You get Dolph Ziggler who comes out, just start going after the Miz, start hitting him with a gang of stuff, the Miz trying not to get hit in the face. Miz comes back at him. They start going after the leg and stuff. You finally get the figure 4 in. Dolph Ziggler's climbing for the ropes. He finally gets to the ropes. Then you get the Dolph Ziggler who hits the famouser. Miz comes back with the with the what's his finisher called?
Ziggler?
No, Miz is
Miz. I don't know.
Something finale, final finale, whatever the fuck his finisher's called. I can't. It's the fucking Miz.
It's all right.
So after that, he hit his finisher. Then you get him. He was going crazy. I thought he was hyped.
He kicked out. Basically, Ziggler kicked out of Miz's finisher.
Yeah, and then he was going, that old thing with the 3 counts and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought he played that very well and played that really good. I
think he played up to not wanting to get his face touched, but
yeah, he did that. I mean, that's his whole little thing. He kind of took it from another wrestler down at NXT. This guy called Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, well, even Cody Rhodes played that.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes played it up too. So he played that up, and then you get Dolph Ziggler, who hits the zigzag, picks up a win, and your new IC title holder, Dolph Ziggler. So what you think of the match?
I liked it, and to be honest, like I said, they're really playing Dolph Ziggler up to be, and I could be wrong, but he definitely comes off as a Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels kind of mix of Billy Gunn.
Well, his moves are very Billy Gunn-ish.
Moves are very Billy Gunn. His style is very Shawn Michaels. Even a little bit of Ric Flair in there.
Everything, really.
So
his style, his appearance is Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, so I thought it was a pretty good match, man. I thought it was better than their Raw match that they had a few weeks ago. You probably didn't. I know you didn't see it.
Nah.
My cousin, he hasn't watched it in a minute. He's watching some stuff like NXT every now and then. But he's a wrestling knowledge. Him and my little brother, they history wise big wrestling knowledge. So if
I mean, that's
besides me, you got him.
Hey, and I can come. I'm just old school, so you teach me what's going on. And like I said, that match was good from. If I hadn't watched them wrestle, but this would have been a good match for you to watch.
Most definitely. And I thought both of them did a really good job of just playing their characters up. And surprisingly, Dolph Ziggler comes out with the win. Everybody's talking about him getting buried and stuff. For me, I just think they like Ziggler. They wanted him to slow down, like they keep asking him to. He is very quick in the ring, a little too quick sometimes for them. They want him to slow down, but I think that he just got to keep working his way back up. I've been listening to the JR podcast, and he doesn't have any reason to like or hate the WWE. He got fired, so there's no reason. He's just saying, these guys wouldn't be on TV if they didn't like him. They would have fired him like they did Del Rio.
Yeah.
So he won the IC title. I'm happy for him. I didn't think he would, but he won it. So pretty good match.
And good for Miz, by the way. Because I remember at one point I couldn't stand watching Miz on TV.
I think this is his best run he had right now. Only he's been doing it for about a month or so.
I'll put it this way. I remember he couldn't get a pop when I watched the last pay-per-view with you.
He couldn't even get a heel pop. Now he was face at the time.
Yeah, Kane beat the shit out of him in that match.
He couldn't get a face pop. Now he's getting a decent heel pop, and he's doing very good. So first match, kick off the show, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. Dolph Ziggler picks up the win. You're champion.
Yep.
So now next you get your Divas match, which is for the Divas title, Paige versus AJ Lee. And you start the match with Paige kind of acting, a little iffy, still doing that old Freddie me thing. AJ goes, bites the hand, and just starts going crazy with her. You get AJ and Paige, you start going crazy at each other.
You call that crazy? That's more sexual.
Well, no, that started going afterwards. First,
but there was a moment where Paige.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. It was first to start off with basically AJ just tearing Paige's hair out, grabbing her, throwing her by her hair, and the second time when AJ got over, her hair flew out again. She started getting the little extensions coming out, and then you get them just doing outside moves to each other. You get AJ first it was Paige started doing those knees to AJ, then AJ came back when they was on top of the rope before Paige was ready to hit a superplex, gets knocked off, AJ jumps on her, and then you just go from that. Paige kicks her when they get back in the ring. Yep. That's when Paige starts crying on her.
I was ready to watch the whole match. I was like,
the crowd woke up. No, this is like
that was the middle of the match. I was ready for the match to start. I was like, all right, ring the bell, ref.
And this is something that I think Paige is starting to finally find her character. She used to play the anti-diva.
I'm finding her character too with that shot.
She used to play the anti-diva when she was at NXT, and she had kind of a heelish, I don't want to be the pretty girl type role. Yeah. I'm thinking she's finally now starting to find out who she is. I mean, she's still young. Today was her birthday, so she's only like 22, 21, and she's young as fuck, dude. And she started finally find her character. She's playing up the little sexy gimmick a little bit here. But you get AJ Lee, who gets her inside the Black Widow. Paige reverses it, gets her inside the implant DDT, and what she calls the Rampage.
Yeah.
And picks up the win from that, and your new Divas champion, Paige.
And I was ready for the match to start again. I was like,
after the match, she grabs her, starts hugging her, kissing her on the cheek. Then she slams her head into the mat, and that's it. So, as far as this match for me, they had a match at Battleground. I know you didn't see, but it was a very like average, mediocre match for them. The problem was that they had no chemistry. The girls, I think it just was that AJ was back. This was her first match back as far as her big match, coming back after her hiatus and Marion Punk and stuff, and she just didn't have real chemistry with Paige. You know, they didn't know who was face and who was heel.
That was probably my biggest problem. I didn't know who was the heel.
Yeah, I think
for like the longest
still
time.
It is a problem, but it kind of once you got to the middle of the match, you figure it out. Okay,
eventually,
one girl's in face and one girl's heel, but that was the main problem last match because both of them played face.
Wow.
And it just they didn't have any chemistry because no one knew what to do, and it was a gang of botches in that one. This one they had a plan, they went at it,
wasn't that many
and
botches. I don't even think there was.
No botches in this one, and they went at it and they did their thing. And I thought this was a pretty fun match and probably the better Diva match of the night, other than the Stephanie match, which was an okay match later on.
I think that's pretty good for a McMahon.
Well, yeah, pretty good for McMahon, but I thought this was very fun and they did their thing. So next we go to. Gotta get to my pictures. Next we go to the flag match. So you get I would keep wanting to call him Alexander, but his name is Rusev versus Jack Swagger. You get Zeb Coates on Jack Swagger's side and Lana on Rusev's side, and you start off with Rusev coming out with Lana. They do the whole flag waving shit, and then you get Jack Swagger, who comes out and he has the whole ROTC core come out with him and do the whole flag salute thing, and he comes with Zeb Coder, "We the People" chants, and then you get them who gets in the ring. Rusev attacks
before the match even starts.
Before the match starts, Rusev attacks Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger kind of flees him off and gets him into the ankle lock, which kind of starts the whole thing of now you got both of the guys who suffer from an injury. I know you don't know this, but Jack Swagger was suffering from rib injury parts. Like Rusev kept attacking his ribs for like the whole.
So he had pre-existing injury.
So pre-existing injury coming in, and now you got Rusev who had the ankle thing, but it kind of healed for him. Mm-hmm. So now he's back to the ankle thing. Jack Swagger puts him into the ankle lock before the match. They finally get into the match. Bell rings, and they just start going at each other. Then you get Rusev, who's kind of still suffering from the ankle thing, and he gets him into the accolade one leg. Jack Swagger gets out of that, and you get Jack Swagger, puts him back into the ankle lock, comes out of that. Rusev comes back, hits the big kick, barely glazes him.
I think he hit more shoulder than that face.
Dude, barely glazes him with the heel kick, and then gets him finally into the full accolade. I like the way that Rusev played up here to where that, his ankle was still hurting, but he was strong. He had to fight through it, get the accolade on.
Everybody came out strong in here.
So you get let me finish. Right. So you get Swagger, who gets him into Rusev, who gets him into the accolade, holds him for the whole time. Then Swagger, instead of tapping, faints out, does the old Stone Cold thing.
Stone Cold.
And he faints, ref calls it. After the match, you get Zeb Coates, who comes in, checks on his boy Swagger. Rusev decides to kick him, and you get Zeb Coates out, and you get Lana and Rusev, who stand tall with Swagger and Zeb just laying on the ground.
Flag appears.
So it wasn't a normal flag match where one guy both of them gets in the ring, and you have to fly and go for the flag.
Yeah.
It was just a flag match. Whoever won
got to
have their national anthem and the flag pulled down.
And a flag the size of the ring comes out and scares everyone.
So,
but I think the match was great. Other than the end, because I didn't know. But see, it wasn't until you told me who was getting the push and who the story was really about that I didn't know. But I thought Swagger came off really bad in this match because I was like, this is flag versus flag. You got everybody chanting USA, and this dude just loses. He had his whole ROTC group come out. I'm like, they did a lot for Swagger's entrance.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's why, because Swagger is the face here. Yeah. He's the one. Well, I think Rusev is getting the push.
He's getting the push, and I understand that.
But Swagger,
I didn't know that.
And to me, this is Swagger's best he's looked since he came in and he won the world title. This is the best he's looked. He's.
This might be the only time he's ever looked good, especially as a face.
Well, I think this is the first time he's ever been face.
They've tried to make him face when he won the. What was it? Oh no, he wasn't a face.
No, never been face. Never been face.
ECW wasn't a face for sure.
No, ECW wasn't face.
I thought when he went to SmackDown, they were trying to push him into face, but they made him more scared than face. He was
probably put him as.
But no one liked him in SmackDown when he first came.
No.
So yeah, you're right. This might be his only real face turn, as far as I know.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match. I like the way that they had Swagger, just kind of faint to lose. It wasn't just
he didn't straight beat him.
So something that you don't know.
What?
Before the whole feud with Swagger, Rusev was taking on basically all black guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Get some brothers out there.
And beating the shit out of him.
God damn it. Why we got some brothers out there getting beat down? I don't want that.
You saw the match that he had with Big E.
Yeah.
Where Big E
Big E had the flag. He was doing the flag shit.
Yeah, he did that dive and fucking almost killed himself.
Big E always scares me when it comes down to dives. And even in this pay-per-view, there was a dive. I was still scared for Big E because Big
E's always under that shit, man.
Me when it comes to diving moves.
So,
anytime the dude loses, I'm going to say this. That man should never be on no Nike commercial because anytime he leaves the ground, I'm scared. I'm like, someone's going to get hurt. It may be not.
Oh, it's like your big man nowadays have to be damn near halfway high flyers now.
That's true. But it's just Big E scares me. Yeah, and I don't mean that. It's still good when he does it, but I'm always scared because it's amazing to see some of the stuff he gets off.
Yeah. So pretty good match. I think it was it was a better match than they had last pay-per-view, which basically Swagger lost by DQ by count out. He was counted out. So I thought it was a pretty good match. Nice way to do a flag match. Yeah. It could have been the other gimmick way, but I like what they did here.
Until you told me who was getting the push, it made more sense that way. Now he gets more heat. Swagger gets to come back and try to go for it.
So Night of Champions, he probably come back then, and he goes for it again, and he probably gets some type of win over. But it depends on where they go with the push right here. He may not come back for a minute, but it depends where they go from here. Yeah. But pretty fun match so far. The show was good.
It was still a good match.
Next, you get your lumberjack match: Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, Mr. Money in the Bank. You get Mr. Money in the Bank who comes out first, and then you get Dean Ambrose, and they just start going at each other. One thing, my cousin was pretty just like surprised by a couple guys first, since he hasn't like watched the main show in a minute.
Oh my god!
First it was Damian Sandow with the lumberjack stuff. He was like, "What the fuck is he doing?"
I was very shocked when I saw the dude. He had like on a Christmas sweater. Yes. And I was like, "What's going on with that?" Then we're rotating, and then I just see like this. I'm gonna tell you what I saw.
What?
I saw a kid that I had never seen before with a great smile. Mm-hmm. With gold on his face, and I was like, "That Goldust? Well, no, Goldust. Who's this gold kid that we're rotating by?" And he's got like the happiest smile. And I'm like, "Who is that guy?" And you're like, "That's fucking Cody Rhodes." I'm like, "Cody Rhodes is gold now? Like, what happened?"
Yeah, so you get Goldust and Cody Rhodes who's out there, and you got all the lumberjacks who are out there. Cody Rhodes, the man of mystery, the man who's been through what?
I'm gonna be honest,
like 16 different gimmick changes.
He had a lot of gimmicks, but this may be the one time where that gimmick. I felt like a childhood of him. Like, that gimmick is one of those, like, when I looked at him, he was so happy. Yeah. To be in that gold outfit.
Well, actually, the way he's playing his gimmick right now, we'll get to the match in a second, but the way he's playing to this gimmick right now is that he's damn near playing weirder than Goldust.
He has to, because that shit scared me when I saw that.
If I was, when he first came out, he had this one picture that was floating around to where it was just his smile with the face paint on, and just like the most creepiest shit in the world. So,
it was like, you know what I honestly think this, and I brought it up to you earlier, but I was like, this is, I'm pretty sure when Goldust started wrestling, when he was first wrestling as Goldust, I'm pretty sure Cody Rhodes had a sketch of that thing. Like, as he's like, I can't wait until I grow up and be like my brother wrestling, and he's just sketching this Stardust thing down. And I'm like, they literally brought a childhood dream to life at that moment. I was
They always talked about doing Cody Rhodes versus Goldust.
I thought that was going to happen, yeah.
They may still happen. They were on Jericho's podcast talking about it, so it may still happen.
But that was crazy. I wasn't expecting that Goldust.
So, Goldust, just a funny thing. I just have to bring that up because it was a funny thing to see.
It blew me. I thought I had saw ghosts for a second. I was like, what the hell?
So, you get into the match. Crazy, both just guys going at each other, just basically tearing each other up in the ring. You get Dean Ambrose, who does Dean Ambrose, just going over, I was telling my cousin, got the whole CCW style and stuff like that, just, coming back at him. Then you get Seth Rollins, who comes back, just going at each other, going fast. They finally get into the lumberjacks, start getting in it. You get Dean Ambrose, who suplexes Seth Rollins over and just into the lumberjacks. They all fall and stuff. Then you get the lumberjacks and them just start going at it. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins just going at it on the outside. Seth Rollins gets thrown over the barricade. And this is something we should talk about. The network skipping.
Okay, the network.
Stopping and skipping, because we didn't get a chance to see this.
We were watching it on my Xbox from the network, and it had a lot of like lag issues where And it even showed up in the replay, like it was skipping in the replay with no connection problems. It was like it was just skipping.
Yeah, we didn't even get to see this spot right here where Dean Ambrose throws him over the barricade and his
chair
leg
and almost kills the kid and his.
Oh yeah, it was like a little girl or something that was there.
It was right there. I was so scared for that family. I was like, I know they weren't ready for that.
So that happens, but yeah, I think it's just because they're shooting out to the whole world now with the whole WWE network. So hopefully they get it fixed.
I mean,
more
it was
servers
still good.
and stuff like that.
We still saw a lot of good spots.
It didn't really skip more along the lines, just a lag, it pausing and stuff like that. I heard some people had worse issues, but
I'm pretty sure they
did.
If we were skipping that.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as it could have been like it when they first started out. I mean, I know. It's just. Every time you go bigger,
they haven't even fully got a year under their belt.
Yeah, not even a year. And fucking what the I know the what's the name was fighting that. What's the UFC's one?
Oh, the UFC
Fight Pass.
That one's all broken.
Yeah, I know it was broken for a while. I actually think they got a lot now.
They have a lot now, but back then, like I said, just like how this started, they had more on their plate than UFC. UFC didn't really have it.
So yeah, WWE Network's been going through a bit, but getting back to this match, great little set right there. You get Kane who comes out, tells the Lumberjacks to go get them, and they're fighting at the top. I thought they were going to do the whole move. Yeah, I thought they were going to do the whole move where they did it at was it Extreme Rules where Seth Rollins jumps onto guys, and I think they were going to do it. My cousin says he don't think so, but I think they were going to do it where they fall off and land onto a bunch of the Lumberjacks, but the Lumberjacks didn't get there in time, and they basically just had to pull them apart. You get Seth Rollins who tries to run away. The Lumberjacks come, bring him back to the ring, and that's when you get the crazy spot of Dean Ambrose jumping off the top of the rope and all the guys falling down, and that's where
who took the biggest spot.
Big E Langston.
Big E scared the shit out of me from this spot. He was under the whole thing.
Yeah, he was under the whole thing, yeah.
It was like, can you not be safe around air? Like,
to me, I think this is the best Lumberjack match I've ever seen.
This is the first time I've ever seen a Lumberjack match actually make sense.
Yeah. And
like most Lumberjacks, they just come out and beat the crap out of you.
And this is one where I think a lot of people were complaining, saying, why a Lumberjack match and stuff. When you think about it, it's actually smart. These two guys, last pay-per-view, didn't have a match because Dean Ambrose kept attacking Seth Rollins and Seth Rollins kept running away.
Yeah.
So you keep having that where they just come in and attacking each other. You can't get them to stay in the ring. Now you get a bunch of guys who can bring them back to the ring.
Well, their whole goal was to keep basically a guy from getting away from the other one.
Yeah.
And they could attack if they wanted to, but that wasn't really their goal.
They played up on the whole thing that the Shield basically beat the shit out of everybody in the
So nobody really cared. They wanted to beat them up.
Yeah, so they just want to see them two go at it.
And that's great. And like you said, so many spots for these guys. I'm telling you, some of the spots outside the ring that they did with the Lumberjacks were just amazing. You're just like, wow, you never see a Lumberjack involved that much in a match. Yeah, so
Lumberjacks had a really good spot in the match. You get back into the ring. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins start going at it. Dean Ambrose tries to go for his dirty deeds. Seth Rollins gets out of it, does the kick on the Dean Ambrose. They get back. Seth Rollins get hits. Then Dean hits Seth Rollins with his own finisher, the curve stomp. Looks like Dean Ambrose is going to win. Then you get Kane who comes, interferes. Goldust comes for the save.
For the pimp smack.
Get slapped the shit out of Cody Rhodes, aka Stardust.
That paint.
Stardust came back in, tried to get him, but Cody
Stardust came in, ran past Kane. He was like,
He tried to get him, but the gang of guys just came in and started getting him, and fucking Kane just walked out of the ring.
You watch that replay again. Cody looked at Kane, looked at his brother, looked at Kane, and then shifted to the right as soon as he could.
But basically, Kane just gently walked the fuck out of the ring, nobody attacked him.
Nobody was gonna attack Kane after seeing that.
So he gets out of the ring. You get all of them fighting. Dean Ambrose ends up clearing the ring, and that's when you get Seth Rollins comes in, hits Dean Ambrose in the back with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then Seth Rollins picks up the win. So not sure where they're going to go from here. I was choosing Dean Ambrose to win this match. I thought you could have Dean Ambrose win, and then you can say Seth Rollins is pissed off and say, you know what? I want another chance at this. I want to fight you again, and this time we'll put my briefcase on the line. But you could probably still go that way where you just get Dean Ambrose who says, you hit me from the back with the briefcase. Now, since you want to use that,
be a no DQ.
Let's have a no DQ and put that damn briefcase on the line.
I would love for that to happen, and I would understand if he would take that. But
yeah, I heard some shit about him, Dean Ambrose maybe filming a movie or something.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure where it's going to go, but probably, to me, one of the best matches of the night.
Yeah, I like that. Like I said, I like what they did with the Lumberjacks. I love these two chemistry. They always have good matches.
And like people were saying last time, they didn't have their match. At the last pay-per-view, it basically got DQ because they was beating shit out of each other the whole
it wasn't a real match.
So this match right here lived up to it and was a very fun match. So, yeah, let's go to the next match, which was Jericho versus Bray Wyatt. Yeah. Their last match at Battleground wasn't really that great.
I mean,
the crowd didn't really pop for them at all. Wow. And, like, Jericho spent the whole match trying to get the crowd into it, but it was kind of, like, towards the end of the show. Yeah. So the crowd was just dead for them. This time, they got more crowd pop. Both of them, just, the whole lights thing. Jericho had on the new jackets and stuff, so, looked really good, and the crowd got into it this time. As far as the match goes, I thought they did a pretty good job. So you get Jericho, who starts off the match, starts going at Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt actually throws him into the barricade on the outside, like throws him off the rope into the barricade, and he actually, like, kind of hits his leg on the barricade, and he had a gnarly looking bruise.
Yeah, he had a big rash, basically.
Yeah, big bruise on his leg, so I think that kind of slowed him down a little bit too. But they start going at each other. Bray Wyatt gets his moves in. Jericho comes back, puts him into the walls of Jericho. Bray Wyatt gets out. Then you get Bray Wyatt, who towards the end of the match hits him with the walls. Hits him with the Sister Abigail into the barricade. And at this point, you thought Bray Wyatt said,
that's why they call it high risk.
Yeah,
it was JBL.
It was JBL, so we had to watch it again and hear what he said.
It was weird. It sounded like, I was like, that would have been a good thing if he had said it, but JBL called it. So
yeah, so you get that happen, then Bray Wyatt. And there was a couple other things that happened. Bray Wyatt was in the ring. He lifted himself up, started doing the crab behind the crab walk, and started yelling at Jericho.
That you can't kill me. I'm already dead.
Yeah, you can't kill me. I'm already dead and shit. But towards the end of the match, you get him back in the ring, and he hits the Sister Abigail again, finishes it, picks up the win. Now it's 1-1. Both of them have a win each, and Bray Wyatt got the big win at SummerSlam. Then he gets on the mic at the end, starts singing his song, and then he says something at the end, which we couldn't really hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a pretty chill match. I thought it was way better than the match that they had at Battleground, which you didn't see. But I thought this was a pretty entertaining match. I have the same problem with Jericho right now that I have with Rob Van Dam. It's just that he's good, but his crispness isn't there.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't have to be, because if he was any faster, I don't think they would have been able to keep up with some of the old moves. Like, I don't think Barrett looked in the best shape that I've seen him. Like, he was pretty big in this match. I was like, you could see his belly kind of showing a lot.
Yeah, one time Bray Wyatt was...
Why?
Yeah, his fucking belly, because he think he had him in the walls.
Yeah, he had him in the walls, and his belly was just oozing out and shit. I was like...
actually, because Bray Wyatt hasn't had a bunch of matches this part of the feud.
Like I said, I don't think Chris Jericho needed to be any faster than what he was, and just like now he's old. I mean, the guy, and I don't even like saying he's old, because Chris Jericho, let's be honest, that man's been around forever.
He's a fucking great wrestler, and it's nothing against Chris Jericho. I would have liked to see a little bit of a faster paced match, kind of the old school Chris Jericho.
I understand, but like I said, I don't really know what it would have had added to but they, like I said, like, Wade was not even as fast. Yeah. I don't think he would have been able to keep up. And like you said, it's been his match for a long time.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I still thought it was a way better match than they had at first. And I thought they played it up.
A lot of character.
That's the one thing, if anybody who watches my video knows, I pray to this. Character. You can't get over with the crowd if you don't have character.
Yeah, a lot of character.
And both of them had a lot of character. Yeah. Chris Jericho, the way he looked, the way he kept standing the crowd every time. Chris Jericho's a fucking professional.
Yeah.
Let's not get this misconstrued or twisted. Chris Jericho's a professional. He got the crowd into it. Very fun match to watch, and I thought they did a good job here.
Yep, they're gonna have a lot of cutscenes from that.
So, going into their next match, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Maybe because it's the third match.
I mean,
you gotta have stipulation now.
Yeah.
What I think now is you get Chris Jericho, who comes back and basically says, you know what, I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired, because even surprisingly, he had him on his podcast.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho had Bray Wyatt on his podcast. Nice. He was doing a call-in thing, and I listened to it today. And then you had Bray Wyatt called in, and they kind of did a promo thing on the podcast.
Oh wow!
So that was something fun to hear and stuff.
That's cool.
And you could tell that it was something that they did together without the whole other people talking. Yeah. So if we can get more of that, to where it's just them promo against each other.
That Prince Handsome talking to a serial killer shot they were giving us.
Yeah, so if we can get more of this, fuck the creative people. Let them two go at it. These are two guys who know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Stop with the creative bullshit and just let them come up with what they're going to do and let them go at it, But hopefully they can find a stipulation for this, maybe a hardcore extreme match. Say Chris Jericho say, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to kick it back old school. Yeah. Fuck it, we're going to go extreme. and they get in an extreme match at Night of Champions, and you get them to just go at it.
It'd probably be an I Quit match.
Or I Quit or something like that. And just fucking chairs, tables, and everything.
Because he already did a last man standing with CM Punk.
Cena.
Cena.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get something good coming out of the next. But let's go to our next match. And that is Stephanie versus Brie, and it's basically everybody knows the story behind this of Stephanie and Brie going at each other.
I called 3 botches, major botches in this match. I called before the match started. I was wrong.
So surprisingly, first of all, you get Stephanie McMahon who comes out
in the China outfit. I was almost scared. I was like, did Triple H pull that out of his suitcase? I've been holding on to this Stephanie for quite a while.
Stephanie's coming out. She knows she looks good. She knows
looks like China.
That she's been working out, that she has it for her. And then you get Brie who comes out. And it's basically a start, very slow, but
a lot of power.
A lot of power moves from Stephanie. Just her slapping up around Brie, throwing her into and stuff. And she's way bigger
than China's powers in
she's way bigger than Brie, and just pushing her into the ropes. The ref having to give her 5 counts to get her off, and stuff like that. Then you get Brie who finally comes back and starts kicking her in the gut. The crowd starts doing a yes chant with each kick.
It was a cool spot until they did it again.
Yeah, and then Brie just didn't keep up the tempo with it. She was just not letting her hit the...
She did it in one corner, kicked her in the gut.
She was looking good. Then she gets to the next corner, and just the kicks wasn't landed really good. And she started doing those to where she was throwing her around and stuff like that. It didn't work. Then you get Stephanie McMahon who comes back, starts doing some moves. They didn't really botch anything here. Nope, I mean, it was a slow match. But I would have rather them go slow. And then botch it up and just.
I was sweating at the end. I'm like, somebody botched something. So
finally you get Brie who gets Stephanie into the yes lock. She starts holding. Then you get Triple H who comes out. Brie starts yelling at him and stuff like that. And then you get Triple H who pulls the referee out. He just falls like a referee.
He pulls the ref out so hard.
Yeah.
That ref almost rolled back up the Titantron. I was like, God damn, Triple H.
So you get that to happen. Then you get Nikki Bella who comes out. After the referee gets pulled out, Brie and Nikki get inside the ring and they're just staring down Stephanie. Then you get Brie who attacks her sister. Nikki who attacks her sister Brie, and she helps Stephanie up. And that's when you get Stephanie who hits the pedigree, picks up the win.
The ref that got knocked out of the ring slides back in as if, I guess the ring must have moved under me while I wasn't looking.
Yeah. So you get Stephanie who comes back in, gets the pedigree, picks up the win, goes out to kiss her kids. Yep. And Stephanie's your winner.
Oh, those were her kids?
Yeah, those were her kids.
Okay, I was about to say, who are these random?
Oh, the kids got to come in and see Mama
wrestle. I respect that because I would bring my kids in and watch me kick some ass.
It could have been worse.
Oh, no, that match was great. Out of a lot of big men, I'm pretty sure she beat her dad 5 matches.
It wasn't as good as some of Shane's matches.
Well, Shane damn near killed himself. So that's not fair. You're competing that to a kid that was probably high.
It wasn't as bad as some of Vince's first matches.
I'm sorry, Vince probably only got probably 3 in the top McMahon fights.
Yeah, but I thought this was an adequate match. Stephanie, it wasn't as bad as some of Stephanie's earlier matches.
Oh yeah, well Stephanie wasn't she didn't have no body at that point.
So she came in, she played her character right, she played her skill set right, and even though it was slow, I thought it was a pretty chill match, and I thought they did exactly what they needed to do.
And they hit all the points. Everything hit. Yeah. Everything.
So so far tonight, pretty good show.
Pretty clean.
And next you go into Roman Reigns,
which we didn't even know this was happening. It's so
this is, and it's nothing against Roman Reigns or Randy Orton, but it was just a lot of stuff that happened tonight in 8 fucking matches. So and actually all the matches had at least a little bit of story build up to. I mean, this was an build to a
I'll be honest, I think that Stephanie was the only real interference match of them all. Everybody else had clean. The Lumberjack
one with Kane.
Kane, yeah. That'd probably be it then.
Yeah, so those 2, yeah. And both of them authority.
Yep.
So you get this match with Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. Not a lot of pictures. I couldn't find them. The WWE just didn't have a lot of fucking pictures for the match. But basically, you get both of them just going at each other. A lot of fucking punches. Yeah, normal fucking match. Yeah. But I thought, for the slow... With Randy Orton, you're going to get a slow, methodical match.
Yeah. And Randy Orton is very, he's a face camera guy.
Yeah, so he's going to play to the camera. He's going to go very slow. And Roman Reigns himself, he's more of a John Cena type character where he has his 5-move of doom.
Yeah.
But, his thing is he plays his character, that smooth, Rico Suave type guy. He did that exactly what he needs to do, hit Superman punches. Randy Orton came in, hit his moves. You got a big superplex from the top rope. You got another gang of moves on the outside. Roman Reigns came back. Randy Orton came back with his stuff. Yep. You got Randy Orton who hit a RKO out of Roman Reigns, who was trying to go for the Superman punch, and then you get Roman Reigns who kicks out of that, and then you get Roman Reigns who finally hits the spear at the end, picks up the win in the match, and another pretty adequate match, about as good to me as a Chris Jericho match.
Yeah, it was actually the same kind of tempo.
Yeah, same kind of tempo, slow, methodical, and both of these guys just going at it. I like that they both got the crowd into it. This is low in the night. We had a lot of pretty good matches in the night, and they still got the crowd to come into it. And it's an LA crowd, so you know they're going to get into it. I hate when people go and say LA is one of the worst crowds.
To be honest, we are very spoiled.
We are very spoiled, but I think that
that doesn't make us worse. We just have a lot more stuff going on.
I think that when we get wrestling out here, which we don't get a lot as far as WWE.
But see, when they say that, when we get wrestling, y'all got to understand something. Wrestling out here, it's like MMA. We have a shit ton of background, independent people out there that do their own shows here.
And we're not like in New York.
Yeah.
New York, you got the New York is already rowdy in their own right.
Yeah.
We're not New York. We're not Oakland or the Bay Area. This is Hollywood.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of that
celebrities
stuff.
every day.
And even though we live in a hood, we still.
I know. We live in the ghetto, and I've run past probably Rock 2 times.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So,
I've driven past that man.
And you can go downtown, and we always go downtown. And you see again people. So like I said, thought this was a pretty good match.
Actually, to be honest, I work out next to the Staples Center. It's not that far away. It's just across the street. I could have went, and I didn't even want to go.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against the WWE. It's just I go there every day. Yeah. I don't want to just go there for one event.
So pretty good match. And going on to the next match, and like I said, both of them going at it. I think this is the end of their feud. I don't see anywhere you can go else with Randy Orton.
Yeah, this is done. I mean,
he won clean.
Yeah. And just I think they just did this match just to get Randy Orton his match because like you said.
To me, I hope this is Randy Orton is going to take some time off.
Yeah,
I think he needs. I don't see anywhere he can go for this. I don't see who he can.
I said that last time when after that other pay-per-view we watched where he was going against I forget who. Oh man, now I forget. But he had a match where I thought he was going to take time off. He doesn't take time off. Randy Orton's basically. I want to put him in the same category as Big Show now, where Big Show is just kind of around.
Big Show's been taking time off.
I know Big Show takes time off, but there was moments where Big Show, you would have all these main matches going on, but Big Show was just around the mix.
Yeah.
They didn't, and then Big Show. Actually, that's a bad analogy. Big Show's not that. Let me think. I could be. Oh, Mark Henry. I put him in Mark Henry's category. Mark Henry's not a good one. Never mind.
Well, John Cena, basically John Cena.
But John Cena always held a spot there where
Randy Orton did too.
But Randy ain't selling like John Cena.
I think he's the third biggest.
Okay, then I'll shut up.
Right behind CM Punk and Daniel Bryan.
Then I'll shut up.
So yeah, I mean, but
he should take
Randy Orton is Randy Orton's thing, but I think he should take time off just because Randy Orton doesn't have anything to do right now.
Yeah.
And better than him going to the mid card. So which he could do some good stuff in the mid card, but he needs to refresh his character. So next you get the big match, the match that had the most hype going in.
The match that made me feel like I was 12 again watching that thing.
Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. This match had a lot of hype. Their match in 2012 was very good. John Cena fucking busted open through an elbow during that match. I think that's when Brock Lesnar first came back.
When he first came back, he
was just roughhousing the shot at John Cena.
He took a really big bump outside the ring for John Cena. He was actually working with John Cena. Not today.
Not to fucking day.
Today's no working.
You get Brock Lesnar who comes out. They even get the little pyro on both sections on the outstage.
Dude jumped on the ring. First of all, this is the best shape I've ever seen Brock in.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar's looking really good.
Looked almost just identical to how he was when he first came into the UFC. Like just that body, that physique. His eyes, that just this massive man where you're just like, I think he'll fuck everybody up in this arena if he wanted to.
Yeah. Then you get John Cena who comes in, merchandise head to toe.
That red was a bullseye.
Yeah. So
that never give up made a bullseye on his chest.
So that's all that was. Merchandise head to toe. Then you get them who goes into the match. The match damn near starts off with a fucking F5.
No, it starts off. They start brawling. Yeah. Gets to the corner. Brock just picks him up, F5s him. Just picks him up, F5 him. And this is the first.
And that's the tempo of the whole match. Just Brock dominating John Cena. And a lot of people may say that, how is he just doing it out of nowhere? People, pay attention. And this is what I think I hate about wrestling fans. They don't have a good memory.
I don't either.
So they don't pay attention to things that's happened 3 months ago.
Nope.
If you look at the the Last Man Standing match, the Fatal 4-Way match, and the Money in the Bank match, all 3 matches had John Cena barely doing any offense. All 3 of them had John Cena just standing out there and just kicking out at 2, especially the Money in the Bank match and the Fatal 4-Way match. Both of those had the other guys doing a lot of wrestling. John Cena only comes in at the end, either grabs the belt from the ladder or he pins the Randy Orton or Kane, whoever he pinned on the last pay-per-view. But look at that, and I like that they played into this. That John Cena may not be 100% here. He may just, not been, all the way there.
Something's happened.
So he comes in here, and Brock Lesnar just starts going demolishing John Cena. And this is the story of this whole match.
That is the only part of this match. 16 German
16 German suplexes.
It got to the point where Brock stopped letting go. He would just hold him and getting back up.
So
and
first he starts with the German suplexes where
one at a time.
Where he just does them, and he started just releasing them after a while, just throwing them over just from one side of the ring to the other. John Cena just getting fucking flung with these German suplexes. John Cena does come back towards the middle of the match after a couple little brawls and stuff. And he finally hits the F5 onto Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar kicks out, and this is one of my favorite parts of the match. Brock Lesnar sits up, looks at John Cena, and just yells at him and starts laughing motherfucker, didn't I say I'm 100%?
This is crazy. Well, here's the sad part about this. It's like, not only did he beat Undertaker, he took his soul, too. He set up like he was Undertaker.
The Undertaker set up. It was like,
he must have just, absorbed all his power.
And just I thought Brock Lesnar, if you want to make a guy who didn't have a great match against The Undertaker, had an okay match, you want to make him look like a beast and like he really did go and destroy Undertaker, have him coming out and dominate John Cena.
This match was every kid who ever had a wrestling video game dream.
Yeah.
Because this is when you make your character and give him 99 on every move.
This was Brock
Lesnar.
This shows a top bad guy.
Yeah.
This shows a boss character.
Again, Brock Lesnar was able to shock the world.
And just destroy. I mean, we thought it was either 2 ways I thought this was going to go. I thought John Cena either was going to get beat very quick and just hit his head or something like that, and just Brock Lesnar.
We didn't think it would be this clean.
No, I didn't think that either that or I thought they was going to go and have a really big match with both of them going at each other. And actually, only reason I thought this is because the way the night was going.
Yeah.
Where you already had a bunch of stuff that happened, and you had 2 titles that switched hands and stuff like that. Yeah. And I thought,
they're not going to do it.
I didn't think they were going to do it. I thought. To me, the way the WWE's been lately, Vince McMahon's kind of been seen out a little bit to me, and he's been. It looks
but see, we forget Vince McMahon. Yeah, he's still kind of running a bit of the show, but this is still Triple H. I'm pretty sure Triple H had a lot to do with this just happening.
Yeah, and Brock Lesnar just dominated this, and he just sits up. He just starts going at Cena. This is when he starts hitting those F5s in random. He starts doing the old Chris Benoit F5s and just starts killing them with
with
the German suplex. Thank you.
No problem. I make mistakes.
So hitting them with the German suplex and start killing them with them. Cena, people just fucking, the internet was going crazy.
That was pretty much me at the time. I was like, what is going on here? There are kids in the building.
People just oh yeah, you had the one kid that was like, Cena!
No, he was going, let's go, Cena!
And it was like the only person in the building, Cena! Everybody was just
Get the fuck up, Cena! Get the fuck up!
So you finally get Cena, who does get up, and this was the tightest clinched STF that I've ever seen Cena put in. It was no fucking.
And it was the tightest reversal I've ever seen. He pretty much just rolled to the side and
rolled him over. Started choking him out, and just Brock Lesnar was just beating the shit out of him. Finally get him to the last F5. 1, 2, 3. Your new WWE Heavyweight Champion, Brock Lesnar.
You gotta understand what just happened. When I saw that, I was like, I started remembering when people actually did love Brock so much that he could do this kind of shit in the ring, where he would just beat the fuck out of someone and pin them. He used to do that when he first came. I remember he did it to Hogan. He did it to. I remember that I was like, Hogan will eventually power up, right? Yeah. Hogan tried that shit. Nope. Got his ass hit with 2 chairs.
Same with The Rock. The only person to really have a match where he kind of goes over was Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie and probably, what is it? Edge, when they were trying to get Edge over at one point. Eddie they had a good match. But other than that,
Big Show.
And Big Show. But even Big Show was kind of just
he was a heel at the time, I think, too.
Yeah, and they were just trying to put over Brock with the F5 because nobody ever picked up Big Show like this.
Yeah, so this match, I mean, it wasn't a match of greatness where you, oh shit,
another shocking moment though.
It was a shocking match that had Brock Lesnar come out and do what he said he was going to do. The whole idea going into this match was that Cena was going to come out and just suffer through all that Brock Lesnar had, but come back and get the win. Yeah. But you had Brock Lesnar who just said, fuck that. There is no coming back. I'm going to take you out. I said I was at 100%, motherfucker. Didn't I say I was at 100%?
They did something that normally doesn't happen on
doesn't really happen at all.
Not just at all, but at pay-per-view level.
And especially to somebody like John Cena who doesn't really get beat like this.
And if he does, it's not this clean. Yeah. It's never this clean. We're talking about 16 German suplexes. The man didn't. He had really 3 offensive moves in the whole match.
He
buried him.
Just
and there you go. Your money in the bank. You might want to open that contract up and burn it now.
You're not getting it from Brock Lesnar.
I'm sorry. I mean that turned into the
dude's a champion, and the whole time they were playing this up as Triple H's Plan C.
I understand that. So, I feel like Brock is definitely the new guy to replace. Like when Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar, I always knew that like. This makes sense. Brock Lesnar could easily replace The Undertaker. Mm-hmm. If we would talk about someone as mysterious as Undertaker without all the gimmicks, it's Brock.
Yeah.
Brock
is and to me, a lot of people complain that, oh, he's a part-timer. Oh, he's not going to be there for long. Number one, Undertaker's a part-timer. Jericho's a part-timer. Van Dam's a part-timer. Yeah. Rock's a part-timer. Stone Cold was a part-timer at a part of time. To me, this is the perfect way for a lot of these guys to go. Cena and Orton should be part-timers right now. Yeah. They've been in the game for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, these are the guys that you should have. And also, we've been oversaturated with having our champion there every single show.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think like Brock Lesnar doesn't have to be there so many times. It keeps the mysterious point of him.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is going to touch Brock Lesnar? Yeah. And that should be what your champions are.
Yeah.
Face champions, maybe you can have them there every couple of shows, but still keep them as these guys who are, you know, doing things. They have to go out, and they can't be on every show because they have to do the, you know, the whole, if you're a face, then you got to go and do the whole Make-A-Wish stuff. Yeah. You got to be in the movies, do all the promos and stuff for the WWE.
Brock doesn't do all
and
that.
You have it where Brock says, you know, I don't do no fucking promos.
Nope.
But I'm not going to be on every show either.
Well, this is great just from the standpoint of like, look, everybody now when John Cena was champion, everybody was like, who are they going to put him against? Who else? What rematch are we going to see for the 80th time with John Cena? This opens up a whole shit ton of matches that probably don't even make it to like you can't, like anybody you name, you don't even see them getting where even John Cena could get in the match where it was 3 moves.
And either they're going to take this to WrestleMania and it's either going to be Roman Reigns or...
But to be honest, part-time or not, I think like the fact that Brock is willing to win that belt means that he wants to come back.
Yeah.
And I think
I think they're going to give him a few more dates than he already have. They're going to just say, okay, you know, we're going to kind of alter your contract, give you 2 or 3 more dates, saying, or like probably 5 or so more dates.
I think Brock wants to stay in for the long haul if he's going to. I think because, like I said, he looked great. Yeah. He looked different. It didn't even feel like the same Brock in that ring.
And he doesn't need to do all the promo stuff. I mean,
he's got Paul Heyman for that.
Just what I was about to say. Yeah. If you look at this Monday night last week, Paul Heyman came out, cut these awesome promos, and then you also got all these guys who they're bringing up, like Cesaro,
a lot of NXT guys.
You know, NXT guys that may be coming up soon. But you also got guys like Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho, Bray Wyatt, Cesaro, Orton, Cena, all these guys who can basically hold the show without a champion. And you also got to bring up and make your other champions more hotter. Yep. You need to make your tag team champions hotter, and you need to make your IC champion and United States champion hotter, and also keep the Divas division hot. If you can do that, then your other champions don't have to be there every night, and you can just have great matches and stuff like that. Less promos, great matches, great pay-per-views like tonight, and you got a show, and the WWE can be hot. Very fun pay-per-view.
It was great. I think that ending definitely sealed a point of like, I want to watch Raw now. I want to see what happens.
And this is the difference between this year and last year's pay-per-view. Yeah. I thought the matches last year was better with the match with CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. Yeah. And then you had the match with John Cena versus Daniel Bryan. Yeah. Match quality-wise, last year was better. Character-wise, this year was better.
This year had a lot of character.
A lot of character. They had, and I think this year had more. Didn't have a match that I didn't like.
Nah.
I thought all the matches did well, and all the
Divas.
Even the Divas match. 2 Divas matches here.
Yeah.
2 Divas matches here, and the crowd stayed for both of them. Very fun night. Only down part was the fucking Totino's little kid guy.
Yeah, that was.
So and
at least if that was the down point, hey, I can skip those.
Yeah, so
I'm alright with that down point.
Nothing big tonight.
I can walk away.
If you had your panel today, which was Booker T, Alex Riley, Ric Flair, and Renee Young, so that was okay, and that kickoff was okay and stuff. But as far as my grade for the show goes, I would give it an A-.
I don't have a grade, but if that's your grade, that's your grade. I don't really grade. So
yeah, so A- for me for the guy who runs the show. So I thought it was a very solid show, very fun show, and I liked it a lot. Great title changes, all the titles changed that were on tonight, and you had a lot of solid matches. Thank you for watching, people. My links to contact me are down below. This is your boy Big Chris. This is my cousin Teddy.
It's
Teddy.
Cool, Ted.
And we're out. Peace.